The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Thursday, April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day, everybody. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, how you doing? Back in Colorado and starting a new day.
Doing it live from the studio at home. Yep, back at it, and it is a fun new day, man. Minus the Philly cheesesteak we ate yesterday. That is not sitting well with either one of us. So,
yeah, they're causing a little bit of a rumbly in the tumbly, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, a little ruckus on the old gutteronis there.
But, we'll pull it together for the next 2 hours for you guys and put together a great show. And, hopefully we won't have to run out unexpectedly for any particular reason.
Well, if you're missing, you kind of know why, right? I think we'll be good though.
Perfect. Well, Tony, let's go ahead and start things off the way we do each and every day with a question for my co-host. I'm going to ask you to put on your hypothetical hat, Tone. If you were a fugitive on the run from the law, what sort of activities would you want to try and avoid?
Activities? Well, you typically don't want to go sightseeing. If you're trying to be on the run, your best bet is to be incognito and stop as little as possible. So I would say, stopping at the monuments and taking selfies, probably not a good idea. You probably want to keep going and rolling and be trying to be as quiet as possible.
You would think so. Well, of course, as we do in these opening stories, that's certainly not the case here. A Mafia fugitive couldn't take the heat, so he went to the kitchen. But that's exactly how Mark Farron Claude Bayard got caught after spending 7 years on the run, according to Calabria News, an Italian news outlet. Bayard was hiding from national authorities for alleged drug trafficking, but was tracked down and arrested in the Dominican Republic on Wednesday. The 53-year-old man was found nearly 5,000 miles away from his hometown of Rome, based on a cooking YouTube channel he launched with his wife in Boca Chica, a municipality near Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic's capital.
Boca Chica.
Bayard's YouTube channel was not named. However, Calabria News described the channel as being focused on Italian cuisine. Law enforcement officials were clued in that the YouTube channel belonged to Bayard, since the chef reviewed food while never revealing his face, the international report says. The body parts that were viewable revealed the mysterious chef had tattoos that matched what authorities had on record for the escaped Mafia member. Tracking down and arresting Bayard was a group effort that included the Central Criminal Police Directorate, Interpol, and multiple police forces from 10 countries. Bayard was hiding out in a tourist resort that reportedly has a large Italian community present. Authorities told Calabria News he had been in the Dominican Republic for more than 5 years. Before Bayard made a home in Boca Chica, he was allegedly in Costa Rica, which is a little more than 1,800 miles away. In 2014, the court of Reggio Calabria subjected Bayard to an order of custody in prison. He fled the country shortly after. Italian authorities say Bayard is a member of the 'Ndrangheta, a prominent organized crime syndicate that reportedly operates in Calabria. Other alleged members of the crime group have recently been busted as law enforcement agencies have convened under Interpol's cooperation against Nangueta Project. So if you're on the run, don't be making YouTube videos.
No, definitely not. You're like, and here we go. Follow me. And as always, I'm on the run.
Follow me at Mafia Fugitive Bart.
Yes, Bart. This is the art one, you know.
He might have well as just put that out there. Keep a low profile. If you're on the run, keep a low profile. But if you are part of a mafia gang, well, yeah, maybe he deserved to be caught.
Right. Well, that's just silly, It's just like the idiot, that like the one person that stole from work and then posted stuff on her social media. It's like, oof.
Yeah.
Getaway van, dumb.
They can't help themselves. Well, folks, It is Thursday. We have a great show lined up for you today. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
The third day, all right? Monday, 1 day. Tuesday, 2 day. Wednesday, when? Huh? What day? Thursday. The third day, okay?
It is Thursday, the third day. And as we do on Thursdays, we explore America's penis and the strange things that happen down there. My favorite segment, Florida Man. We have a segment called True Crime Songs. Our call-in topic today is Uncancelled TV. We have a segment called Stupid Self-Injuries. We round out the day with This Day in History, and Tony is up next with the entertainment news. Folks, do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
Behold my process. Ooh, yeah, let me tell you something right here. It's the Loot Crate subscription box, full of exclusive loot, fun surprises delivered to your door every month.
Just pick up your favorite geeky genre, Daddy.
From the original Loot Crate, the Loot Crate DX collectible boxes, dude. Cowabunga!
Ooh, the Loot Gaming video game box. Woohoo! Yee-hoo! Wowzers! With crits starting as low as $11.99 per month, there's a box just about for all collectors. To get your geek on, head over to phoenixmedia.us/Loot Crate and claim your exclusive offer. That's FENIXmedia.us/Loot Crate. Great Scott!
Snap into a Loot Crate, dig it?
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show, and we have a little thing called the Fenix Line. It is our 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. Maybe you're a Mafia fugitive on the run. Tell us about it. Of course, we may pass that along to the authorities. But that number is 855-Phoenix-Radio. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, speaking of entertaining, Tony is here with the entertainment news.
Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, April 1st, the day of jokes. But here's your Filippo Fast Five. In a massive $450 million deal, Netflix purchased the rights to do 2 Knives Out sequels. Daniel Craig is reported to reprise his role as Detective Benoit Blanc in both sequels, with writer-director Rian Johnson set to return. Sony has delayed the release of Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. The apocalyptic horror film is now scheduled for November 24th, a move from its September 3rd. Kind of wise it was going to go up against Shang-Chi, so probably a good idea to move that one back a bit.
Exactly.
Although November 24th, I would have released that more towards Halloween. Probably a little better, but it's where we're at with that. They're back, but in a new way. William Peterson and Georgia Fox will reprise their classic CSI roles for a new show, CSI Vegas. Okay, so if you're a fan, they're back.
Just what we need. Another CSI.
Yep, they had nothing to do. Kind of goes with our whole segment today. Shows that you want Uncancelled to come back. So if that was one of yours, there you go. Universal Studio Hollywood is set to reopen on April 16th after more than a year in limbo. So get your foot on. There's new rides there too, so that would be nice. And Sarah Michelle Gellar to star in Amazon's Hot Pink. I have no idea what it's about, but that's what's coming. And that's your full
again. Sorry.
No, you're good. She hasn't done anything in a while, so that'll be nice. So she'll be back. In the entertainment portion of the news, it looks like Comcast is considering removing all NBC Universal films from streaming platforms like Netflix, also keeping up with releases from its own Peacock service, according to a new Bloomberg report. The report arrives at a time when competitors like Warner Media and Disney are using their streaming services to offer subscribers exclusive access to new, highly anticipated films. For subscribers like us, that means movies like Fast 9 could stream exclusively on Peacock instead of heading to HBO Max. Currently, Universal has an output deal with HBO Max that gives the streamer rights to show new Universal Picture movies about 9 months after they leave theaters. So, according to Bloomberg, Illumination, the studio behind Despicable Me and Minions, has a similar deal with Netflix. Both deals are set to expire at the end of 2021. Losing access to films like Secret Lives of Pets could also impact Netflix business, but executives have publicly stated multiple times that they've prepared for competitors to pull their films as competition within the streaming world heats up. Warner Media would ideally like to keep the Fast and Furious franchise on HBO Max in some capacity. For NBC Universal, the bigger question is whether or not executives think having those exclusive films on its Peacock streaming service will lead to enough customers signing up that are losing out on those licensing deals is worth the risk. It's a bet that several conglomerates in the entertainment industry are currently trying to figure that out. Viacom CBS, which owns Paramount Plus, specifically set out a new deal with premium cable network Epix that allows for more control where studios' films land after leaving theaters. Viacom CBS can take movies like A Quiet Place 2 and Mission Impossible 7, to Paramount Plus before they're available on Epix as a part of the new deal. Much like Comcast and NBC executives, they reported the internal thinking. The idea is having big movies available exclusively and quickly on Paramount Plus will encourage people to sign up. So this just goes on to continue about how all the different ones go. So here we are again, this could be another big blow to Netflix. And this would be a first big blow to HBO Max by having Universal films exclusive on one. So this is definitely, I think we're getting to that point where if you want certain things, unfortunately, you're going to have to start ponying up for all these different services. So
yeah, and I think at the end of this year, we're going to see sort of a big turning point. Obviously, there's sort of two schools of thought on movies that are available on streaming same day as in theaters. You've got the Disney Plus thought process where, they release it in theaters and then they make it available for $30 for premiere access on Disney Plus. Or you have HBO Max, same day it goes to theaters, you can watch it as part of the service. What's better? What's driving more signups? Who knows? But I think we're going to see more, division as far as each of these studios really carrying only their own properties.
Right. It's going to be like from where this started as a cable cutting process, like cut the cable. Now it's going to be a little more around the same lines anymore of it. You're just going to have a lot more apps.
Not only that, I mean, I cut the cable years ago, and for all of the streaming services that I still pay for, it's still less than what I would pay for cable.
This is true, man. So that's going to be an interesting thing to watch. So there you go. Just more content for the Peacock. Such a stupid name for that. But I know in the Fast Five, I think earlier in the week, we talked about Comic-Con going, not only is it going virtual in July, but they're going to be opening it up in a in-person capacity in November. Well, a new report suggests that the date is facing some backlash from the actors and major studios. According to the Hollywood Reporter, they have spoken to several people in the industry who are not happy with the schedule for San Diego Comic-Con November event. An anonymous representative from a studio who hosted a Hall H panel, which is some of the biggest panels to be presented during San Diego Comic-Con weekend, say they love the SDCC and would love to support it. But what actor or producer is going to give their first post-vaccine Thanksgiving holiday with family to travel to San Diego to publicize a project? Another insider said clients who have been featured prominently in Hall H, the actors are refusing to attend, but will have no choice to go. It really has put studios, producers, and performers in very awkward positions, as San Diego Comic-Con is one of the biggest publicity events of the year, but the timing of the event just doesn't seem to make much sense. After the initial wave of backlash, Comic-Con released a statement that explained why this weekend was chosen. According to them, the Thanksgiving weekend was one of the few dates available to even host the event during the last quarter of the year. They're also leaving the decision up to the patrons to determine if they want to attend, and even suggested that they could spend the actual Thanksgiving holiday with their families first, and then head out to San Diego to spend the rest of the weekend with their family of choice. Talent hasn't been the only vocal naysayer of the Thanksgiving weekend event. Fans were the first people to speak up about the decision and pointed out that their scheduling doesn't make any sense for several reasons. Thanksgiving is one of the biggest holidays in the U.S., and people want to spend time with their families, especially after some being separated from their loved ones during 2020 due to the pandemic. Fans might be excited that the SDCC is trying to get back to normal, but doing a smaller scale in-person event many may skip it, and you might want to wait till the full-blown event is set for July of 2022. So I don't know. Do you guys think that Thanksgiving weekend was a bad move to hold a person event? You let us know. Me, it's one of those, like, the options are there. If you want to go. I do think that is pretty rough for actors and actresses. That's pretty tough because if you're there to promote a project and you're under contract, you kind of have no choice. So,
and as you know, people who have attended San Diego Comic-Con, the timing of it, Thanksgiving falls on a Thursday. Then Comic-Con, it typically goes from a Wednesday to a Sunday. I would imagine it's fewer days this go around. So you could do Thanksgiving with your family and then go Friday, Saturday, Sunday to Comic-Con. My big issue with it is that is the most expensive travel weekend of the year. So if you're buying airline tickets to fly down to San Diego, it's going to cost you so much more.
Yeah, it's going to be a pricey little deal for sure. So it's one of those things. If you want to go, you can definitely do that. Or you can go to New York Comic Con. That one's in October, and that's going to have an in-person one. So they know that San Diego's an uphill battle to secure talent for its first person. New York is planning an in-person convention this year from October 7th through the 10th, and it will also have a virtual element as well. So you don't have to worry if you can't make it. They'll have a virtual way too. So it seems like New York's kind of learning how San Diego's doing it and how they can just make it a little bit better, which in turn could really bite the San Diego one in the butt. So totally. I don't know if it's the same planners or everything, but that's just, I guess that just goes with it. So, and I know we only got about a minute left. There's not a lot of birthdays today, so I think we can roll into this last article. It's a sports article I wanted to get to yesterday. But the NFL is set to expand its schedule for the first time in 43 years. It's going to implement a 17-game schedule, the first time the league expands the schedule since 1978, when games were increased from 14 to 16, per ESPN's Adam Schefter. The league's owners met this week, and they did approve of that, which is not met with the most happiest of people. So this goes the expansion of the postseason from 12 teams to 14 teams, and how it's going to work out is there'll be no extra bye week. There'll be 17 games on 18 weekends. Week 1 will be the first regular season Sunday on September 12th, 2021, the week after Labor Day. Week 18 will be the final regular season game on January 9th of 2022. Super Bowl Sunday will be February 13th, 2022, week before President's Day weekend. Wildcard weekend will have 2 games on Saturday, January 15th, 3 games on Sunday, January 16th, and 1 game Monday, January 17th. The 17-game season is also tied with the completion of the league's new television contracts, which were announced this past month. The new television deals don't start until 2023, but the league is expected to alter the current deals. Now, they do one less of preseason. So now there's only 3 preseason games versus 4. So they're just making 1 game sooner. So I know not a lot of the players are excited about it, but in the NFL, it's all about the revenue, right? So
exactly. And as much as I love football, I don't think it's a great move. You put your star players more at risk, especially at the end of the season where they're already beat up. And the football season is fine just the way it is.
Exactly. So we'll see how that goes, but nonetheless, it's happening. And you know what else is happening? The whopping 2 birthdays. Let's roll. It's my birthday! Third-generation professional wrestler who became the youngest person to hold the WWE Heavyweight Championship at age 24, became a Grand Slam champion in 2018. Randy Orton is 41. And singer, songwriter, and founding member of the Danish heavy metal and rockabilly band Volbeat, Michael Poulsen, is 45. Happy birthday. That's legit it for celebrity birthdays. Don't have any other people, so happy birthday.
Short and sweet. Well, that does it for the entertainment news. When we come back, it is time for Florida Man. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back after these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes.
2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm going to do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. And we are all over social media with many of you watching us as we speak on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Now, if you want to get a hold of me on social, I'm available at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Fenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R, or on Instagram and Twitter at Fenix Media Radio. Tony's available at facebook.com/Tony.Sanfilippo. That's SANFILIPPO.94, or on Instagram at Tony.Sanfilippo81. Being that it's Thursday, I love this part of Thursdays where we explore America's penis and the strange, weird things that happen down there with a little segment we like to call Florida Man.
Oh, good for you. Florida Man never disappoints. Will he disappoint this week? We shall see. But you just can't go wrong when we start with the squirrel gone nuts story in Florida. Surveillance captured a squirrel attacking a man in Sarasota County. The video shows the squirrel attack and bites the victim without provocation, injuring his arm and elbow. Pythons don't do it often. Alligators have tragically done it, but we know to be wary. But unlike these creatures in the Florida Everglades and waterways, one pesky squirrel in Sarasota County is fighting way above its weight class. Who knew in Florida they'd have to be on a lookout for attacking squirrels? According to the news report, a man has the wounds to approve. The squirrel went nuts in the Florida town, and without provocation, he got attacked and bit, and his arm is all chewed out. So it's more of a Florida squirrel than a man to start it out.
Has the planet gone mad?
Had no rabies. It just attacked him. He's just walking, and that thing just went to town.
I wonder if it's related to the squirrels that lived up in your attic.
Right. Well, I can tell you the mama squirrel that would watch once I got the guy to block off the hole, pissed.
Not too happy.
No, very mad. So squirrels are legit, man. They'll go after you if you piss them off. We go down to Stuart, Florida, where a forensic psychologist says a former college student believed he was half dog and half man, and he fatally attacked a man and a woman at their home and was found biting on their faces. The Palm Beach Post reports that Dr. Philip Resnick made the conclusion in a 38-page mental health report released this week by Martin County State Attorney's Office. Investigators say they found Austin Hariff, 22, biting John Stevens' face while making growling noises on August 15th. Resnick reports says the fact that Hariff persisted in biting Stevens in the presence of police officers in spite of threats of being shot, tased, and receiving multiple kicks to the head. Mr. Hariff was actively psychotic. Oh, no doubt. So,
well, I have a quote directly from the suspect, Mr. Hariff.
It's just crazy. Oh, man. Florida man has gone to jail for fighting over chicken sandwiches. He used a piece of poultry as a weapon, and he recently battered a woman with a burrito, police said. So it came as no surprise that egg rolls figure in the latest Florida man skirmish. Keith Gordon Johnson of Pensacola was arrested by Milton Police Department and booked into Santa Rosa County Jail on battery charge. Police in the Florida Panhandle community say that Johnson wanted to enter a woman's house to eat some egg rolls she had inside. But when the unnamed woman refused to let him in the house, he kept stabbing his finger on her doorbell and pushed his way through the door, shoving her aside. The woman, police said, had agreed to bring the Chinese food treat out to him rather than have him inside. And that's when he barged into the home. In their back and forth over the egg rolls, the woman said she was pushed, and Johnson told police the woman slapped him. Johnson is in jail on a $500 bond. So he barged into the house just to eat some egg rolls.
Isn't that
weird? Very weird. You know what else is weird? That this one Florida man went into... This might be that weird one where I tried to open. It's that caterpillar one again. It wouldn't open. I tried that last week and I couldn't get it. So we'll skip that caterpillar story. Yes. Well, this was a different link and it still didn't work. What happens when you call 911? Usually you get a good response. Do you know what happens if you accidentally dial 911? The information is critical emergency. You need to act fast. We don't want to dump on Hardee's, but how bad is it to work there when you'd make up a crime and report it to 911 just to get out of working your shift? Well, for one Florida man, that's just what he did. 32-year-old Brian Anderson of Dundee, a town in the Lakeland, Winter Haven area of Florida, called the emergency-only number on Saturday to report that two armed men robbed him of his necklace, money, and phone while he was standing near the intersection of Highway 27. In a snarky Facebook post, the sheriff's department said Brian of Dundee called 911 to report an armed robbery and reiterated suspects allegedly took the means of escape in a car. Deputies quickly responded with air and canine. That's a heck of a story. Well, aside from the very first and last sentence, none of it was true. Officers quickly realized the crime Anderson reported hadn't happened. The department said Anderson confessed he made up the story because he didn't want to work his 11 a.m. shift at Hardee's. Anderson was charged with misuse of 911 and knowingly giving false information to law enforcement. Both charges carry $500 apiece. He is still at Polk County Jail. If his name was Jussie, he would have gotten away with it. I don't know.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb.
Yeah.
My only question.
Why didn't he just call out?
Right? Maybe he didn't have any more days that he could use. But my question is, Anderson and Dundee did he say he was held at knife point? It's not a knife. This is a knife.
This is a knife. Speaking of knife, police in Florida stumbled upon a suspect in a cold case when a man applied for a job that required a background check decades later. His fingerprints were allegedly a match, authorities said this week. Todd Barkett, 51, was arrested Wednesday and charged with first-degree murder in connection with the 1998 slaying of Sandra Better, a 68-year-old woman working alone in a consignment shop at the time of her killing in Delray Beach, Florida. Barkett's prints appeared on the fingerprint database in December. He was applying for a job as a certified nursing assistant. In 1998, Better's killer left a bloody evidence-laden scene behind where she was stabbed and bludgeoned to death. So droplets of the suspect's blood led to Better's body to a cash register and out the door, as well as the suspect's fingerprints on the decorative ball which found was at the scene. Nothing matched until he applied for the job. So he didn't get the job, but he sure as hell got caught for a murder back in 1998. So
way to go, a-hole!
Just so stupid. You know what else is stupid? Suspect in Marion County, sheriff deputies recovered a $30,000 hot air balloon that was reported stolen to another law enforcement agency at an event for hot air balloon races last Saturday. Sheriff officials said they received information from the Bloomington Police Department in Indiana that the stolen hot air balloon was probably a part of a hot air balloon event in Marion County. Deputies went to the Florida Horse Park on County Road in Summerfield, where the village's hot air balloon race was being held. Local officials checked the balloons at the event and found the one reported stolen. No one was arrested as the owner just wanted his hot air balloon returned. So this guy steals it, goes to Florida to race it.
Stupid is stupid does, sir.
Oh, man, that was stupid. Let's go with one. Let's just end on a fun one, right?
All right. Sounds good to me.
Okay. So 40-year-old South Florida man was accused of attacking his mother after she refused to dress his mannequin. Michael Danker was arrested by Boynton Beach police and charged with aggravated battery on a victim over 65 years old and domestic battery by strangulation. Okay, that's not very funny, but Monday night, police responded to a call from a neighbor who said the 73-year-old woman was bleeding from her face and was being chased by her son. The victim told police she was in her backyard of a home when Danker asked her to dress his mannequin. When the woman refused, Danker allegedly blocked her path to the house. I think I read that one before. That sounds familiar. Yeah, well, yeah, they all blend together, but yeah, I was like, wait, that's a dark one, and it sounds familiar. So sometimes you type in Florida man for like the day and whatever stories come up, but that one sounded familiar. So
yeah,
maybe a lot of crazy ones. So I just read the headline. It was Mom and the Mannequin. And I was like, oh, that could be funny. So
exactly.
But nonetheless, Florida full of crazy ass people. And we'll read them every Thursday.
Well, folks, that does do it for Florida Man. When we come back, we've got a segment called True Crime Songs. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys in a few.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks, to the final segment, at least of the first hour of this episode of the Kristian Fenix radio show. But do not fret, there is still plenty ahead with our second hour, including our call-in topic of Uncancelled TV. Now, if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix radio show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, about 20 in all. While you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think and tell your friends, because sharing is caring. Now, in the segment called True Crime Songs, pretty self-explanatory, but some of the best films, some of the best TV come out of inspiration or direct pulling of true crime events. Well, that can be the case with some songs as well, and we're going to be covering those songs in the segment that we've titled True Crime Songs. Some of these bands I've heard of, some of these I have not. So, Tony, you feel free to fill in for any of the bands that I haven't heard of. I assume you're probably in the same boat, but we'll go through them. I know you've heard of this one. Apparently, the song Zombie by the Cranberries is based on the 1993 IRA bombing in Warrington, England. To quote the song, another head hangs lowly, child is slowly taken, and the violence caused such a silence. Who are we mistaken? The Irish Republican Army, or the IRA, planted 2 bombs in a trash can that detonated on a busy street, killing 3-year-old Jonathan Ball and 12-year-old Tim Perry. Dolores O'Riordan wrote the song out of mourning, anger, and frustration in their memory. Now, I knew it was about IRA bombings. I didn't know it was about a particular one that ended up costing the lives of 2 children, very sadly.
I actually didn't even know what it was about. I just, Actually, I don't mind the song at all. The song's actually good. Bad Wolves did a good cover of it, but I didn't know that's what it was about.
I was just going to say, and they did a cover that included Dolores O'Riordan before she passed away.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what we're talking about, is true crime songs. This next one, I recognize the band, don't recognize the song. The song is Four Walls, the Ballad of Perry Smith by Bastille, which is based on the Truman Capote novel In Cold Blood, which is a novelization of the real-life murder of the Clutter family in 1959. Quoting the song, "These four walls will keep you until you face the rope. You've only these four walls before they, in cold blood, hang you up." Former inmates Dick Hickok and Perry Smith snuck into the Clutter's farmhouse in the middle of the night, tied up the family of four, shot them all at close range, and slit the father's throat. They expected to find a safe full of cash, but only left with a Zenith radio, a pair of binoculars, and less than $50. Oh, so sad that people are murdered for so little.
Right. And I've heard of Bastille, but I've never heard that song.
Yeah, didn't he do the Sail song? Sail.
No, that was dang it, that's a different band.
No, okay. All right.
No. It wasn't Bastille. It was Muse. Muse did that one.
Nope, that wasn't Muse.
No, that wasn't
I guarantee.
Muse.
Nope. But tell you what, you look it up while I go through this next one. We're talking true crime songs. The song Bang Bang by Le Tigre is based on the 1999 NYPD shooting of Amadou Diallo. Again, to quote the song and to paraphrase the song, "Wrong effing time, wrong effing place. There's no effing way. This is not about race. Who's going to call 911 when they can't tell a wallet from a mother effing gun?" Amadou Diallo, who was 23 years old at the time, was shot 41 times by NYPD officers who claimed they thought he had a gun. It was actually his wallet. Never heard of the song, never heard of the band, but still a sad tragedy nonetheless. And I assume you have our answer on who did the song Sail.
AWOL Nation.
AWOL Nation, yep. All right, moving on, talking true crime songs. Here's one that both of us know quite well. Hey Man, Nice Shot by Filters, based on the 1987 suicide of former Pennsylvania State Trooper R. Bud Dwyer, who shot himself on live TV during a press conference. From the song, "Now that the smoke's gone and the air is all clear, those who were right there had a new kind of fear." In 1986, Dwyer was convicted of bribery and sentenced to 55 years in prison. He held a press conference the day before his hearing and maintained his innocence before pulling a revolver out of the paper bag and taking his own life. I could only imagine being part of the press there and witnessing that firsthand. That would have been terrifying.
Oh, yeah. I definitely didn't know that song was about it. I actually thought it was just somebody actually taking a shot.
Yeah.
Like going after something. But I guess that's, there you go. I had no idea it was about that.
Based on a true crime. That's what we're talking about. True crime songs. Here's another one where, again, I don't recognize the artist. I don't recognize the song, but definitely true crime behind it. Called That Night by Atmosphere. Is based on the 2003 rape and murder of a 16-year-old fan who attended one of their shows in New Mexico. Quoting the song, "She was 16, another young angel with clipped wings. She came to the shows, but I never met her. Don't even know if she was listening. That night, we lost a supporter. That night, somebody lost a daughter." Marissa Filler, boy, that's a hard last name to say, was lured backstage by a venue employee who told her she'd be introduced to the band. He proceeded to rape and murder her before hiding her body behind a soda machine. Atmosphere rapper Slug said that Marissa's murder was his transition to try to be more responsible artist, not just to the audience, but to myself. Sad, especially when it relates so closely to the band that wrote the song.
Right. Never heard of them either, so that's just crazy. It's interesting to hear what these songs are about, though.
Yeah. And here's one that, again, I don't know if you know the story behind it, but we all know the song really, really well. We're talking about true crime songs. Jeremy by Pearl Jam is based on the 1991 suicide of Jeremy Waddell, a high school student who shot himself in front of his English class. Again, quoting the song, "Try to forget this, try to forget this, try to erase this from the blackboard." Jeremy spoke in class today. Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder wrote the song after reading a newspaper article about Jeremy, but did not reach out to his family for their blessing. But probably their most popular song ever. I realized it was about a school shooting. I didn't realize that it was simply not simply, but it was a suicide.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I thought it was school. I thought it was about a kid shooting up class is what I thought. I didn't think it was based on anybody real. And I actually used to think it was called Jeremy Smoking Grass Leaves. I thought it was a pot song at first.
That actually remind me at the end of the show. That would be a great call-in topic of misquoted song lyrics.
Yeah. Jeremy Smoking Grass Leaves.
Well, let's keep rolling on. We're talking true crime songs.
True crime.
Here's one. Again, know the artist, don't necessarily know the song. The Killing of Georgie, Part 1 and 2 by Rod Stewart is based on the real-life hate crime and murder of a gay man Stewart was acquainted with. Quoting the song, out of the darkened side street came a New Jersey gang with just one aim, to roll some innocent passerby. There ensued a fearful fight. Screams rang out in the night. Georgie's head hit a sidewalk cornerstone. Stewart told The Guardian that since he wasn't on the scene when it happened, he embellished a bit, but the real-life Georgie who was killed was a good friend of his former keyboardist. Again, very sad, but in reading that, I couldn't help but think of Pennywise from It.
Right, but that's what I was thinking where you were going with that.
Hiya, Georgie.
Hiya, Georgie. Same time.
Oh, and then finally, let's see, we got time for, well, one more. We're talking true crime songs.
True crime songs. Beep, boop, beep, boop.
The song Cassie by Flyleaf is based on the death of Cassie Bernal, a victim of the 1999 Columbine shooting. Eric Harris allegedly asked Cassie if she believed in God before shooting her, and she allegedly responded yes. Tony, being in Colorado, I know, Columbine is a something that hits home there, and it's sad that it happened, and great that bands can memorialize the victims of that.
Yeah, I didn't know that song was about her. I've heard the song though because I knew a Cassie once.
Well, folks, that does it for the first hour of this episode. We're headed into our long break, but when we come back, it's time for our call-in topic of uncanceled TV shows you'd like to see come on back. So speaking of come on back, join us back here in 7 minutes, and we will see you all then. You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star, and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the multiverse of pop culture entertainment. To explore our complete lineup of quality programs, head over to phoenixmedia.us or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Chris Jones. Hong Kong media tycoon Jimmy Lai and 6 other high-profile democracy activists have been found guilty of unauthorized assembly in relation to anti-government protests in 2019. The group includes some of Hong Kong's longest-standing democracy campaigners. Richard Kimber reports from Hong Kong.
The ruling follows a 4-week trial that centred on an unauthorised march that took place amid months of anti-government protests in the second half of 2019. Prosecutors accused the 7 activists of turning a police-approved assembly in one of the city's biggest parks into an unauthorised march through the streets towards government headquarters. Organisers of the protest at the time said almost 2 million people took part to voice their opposition to a controversial extradition bill that was later scrapped by the government. Those convicted include the founder of Hong Kong's Democratic Party, Martin Lee, and outspoken former opposition lawmaker Leung Kwok-hong. All 7 activists had denied the charges of organising and taking part in an unauthorised assembly. 2 more activists, also facing the same charges, had already pled guilty in February. Richard Kimber in Hong Kong.
The trial of the former US police officer accused of George Floyd's murder has reached its 3rd day. New police bodycam footage has been shown in court. The footage shows Derek Chauvin kneeling on Floyd's neck for 9 minutes as he begged for his life. Chauvin stands accused of murder and manslaughter and denies the charges made against him. An exodus from French cities is expected over the coming days ahead of a new COVID-19 lockdown for the country. Travel restrictions are being put in place, but the government will allow people the Easter weekend to get to where they want to spend the lockdown. Schools are closing for at least 3 weeks, and all non-essential shops will close from Saturday. Paris correspondent Peter Allen says President Emmanuel Macron had been trying to resist a new lockdown.
A lot of people are clearly very disappointed, but also if you look at the figures here, they are absolutely appalling, especially in major cities like Paris. We're looking at about 50,000 new cases of coronavirus a day across the country. Staggering figures. Intensive care units in cities like Paris overflowing to the extent that patients are being evacuated out of the city to less busy parts of France.
And Russian opposition figure Alexei Navalny has started a hunger strike in prison. He is demanding access to medical treatment, which he says is being denied to him. Julia Chapman has more.
Alexei Navalny has told his lawyers he is suffering from acute back and leg pain. He says he is being woken up every hour of the night for checks and has only been given ibuprofen as treatment. A statement from the prison service said Navalny has been examined by doctors, but he is demanding to be seen by his own doctor, and until then he will refuse food. Julia Chapman, Moscow.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke. When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go. Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What? Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this. To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Welcome back, folks, to the second hour of this episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Thursday, April 1st. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. Still joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, are you ready for the fastest hour of the day? And today we would welcome how fast it's going to be based on the way Philly cheesesteak is treating us from yesterday.
Yeah. No, it'll be a good fast hour. I have a good feeling about it. So
very good.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Yeah. Just in time to go do a 10 to 11 hour shift. Sure.
Exactly. Well, this is the interactive portion of the show where we want to hear from you guys, the listeners and watchers, on our topic of the day, which is why we give it 24 hours in advance and ask you to call in on the Fenix line at 855-Fenix Radio. Of course, you can comment live on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. Just click into the live video there and comment with your pick. Or in the next segment, we will open up the stereo app and play a little stereo roulette and grab people at random. But of course, you can always get in line to chat with us live, again, about the topic of the day. Speaking of the topic of the day, today's topic is Uncancelled TV. Now, yesterday we mentioned that, there's a lot of reboots coming out that really are only a reboot in name only. They're taking a concept or they're doing something completely different from what the reboot is. The example I gave yesterday was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is coming back, but not as a hilarious sitcom starring Will Smith. It is a gritty drama, which, again, would be better served under a different name, but they're capitalizing on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air brand. But what we're talking about here are shows that you loved at any point during the TV past that if you had the option to, you would uncancel. You would bring back. Obviously, we've seen it happen a few times with shows like Family Guy, Last Man Standing, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But most shows, once they're done, they're done. So, Tony, I pose the question to you. If there was one show, you had a wish to bring one show back, what would it be?
I would do Behind the Music again. Those were really awesome. I always like to see how the bands, broke up and went through all their stuff. I'd like to see that with more modern day bands. I know when it did, that was one of those shows that did go away and came back. When it came back, it focused more on different genres and it didn't quite success, but I really liked it for the rock bands to see what happened to all of them. Like, I liked all the behind the scenes stuff and the interviews. Those were always really cool. So I think that would be one I would take back.
That's a great pick. In fact, I even had a DVD copy of Megadeth's Behind the Music, which they somehow released on home video DVD, and super interesting though, especially with the trajectory of that band.
Exactly. Well, and Metallica, they did one, but then it never came back. But Metallica's was really cool back in the day because you got to hear the behind the scenes stuff of the Guns N' Roses tour, and then it's just one of those. If you did them nowadays, it'd be nice to hear some updated stories. And as a lot of those bands, even though they did their behind the music, more and more kept happening. So it was like, oh, maybe you should have waited to do yours. So, but I agree. I still have the Megadeth one. Well, and that's changed a bunch of times since then too.
Yeah. As you mentioned, modernizing, some of the bands, imagine going back and doing a behind the music of like Limp Bizkit, a band that was hugely popular for just a handful of years and that people hated them. Now they're making a little bit of a comeback. That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, or Nickelback or some of those new metal bands, just to see where they're at, what they're doing now, and
totally
might give them a platform to promote like any upcoming stuff if they're doing that.
Well, we know
Seven S would have been a good one.
We know it wouldn't be on MTV because MTV is no longer music television, and I don't even know what VH1 is doing anymore.
I don't know what VH1 does, but that'd be something that'd be good even in the form of just like a YouTube show, or streaming. Streaming's always looking for original content. That'd be cool to see it pop up on a streaming service. I know Paramount owns MTV, so maybe Paramount Plus might be a good platform for that.
I like it. We are talking Uncancelled TV. If you had the opportunity to uncancel any one show, what would it be? For me, it's a Netflix show that not only was just hilarious, it had a great storyline. It took a new take on a genre that has almost been beaten to death, pardon the pun. And of course, when they canceled it, they left it on a cliffhanger that we have no idea how it would have ended up. They didn't get a true series finale. And I'm talking about Santa Clarita Diet, starring Oliphant and Drew Barrymore. What a great show. I mean, it was funny. It's, sort of the zombie genre. And, when we last left it at the end of season 3, Timothy Oliphant's character had, essentially turned. He wasn't going to, and now he turned, and what's going to happen to him? Well, unfortunately, we will never know.
Right. You don't get the payoff. You invested the time and then just canceled, which was weird because it was a Netflix show. They could have at least, you think, just given him one more just to wrap it up.
Yeah. And it was a popular Netflix show, but it was right at the time where Netflix basically said, we're not going to create any series longer than 3 seasons. And so they axed a whole bunch of shows based on that. I think Stranger Things is the only one to survive that, but it's coming to an end after the next season, not this upcoming season, but the following.
Right. Like it's going 5. And Netflix was a great place to revive shows like Lucifer started out on Fox and then it got canceled. So they rebooted it for Netflix, but they continued on where the story left off with Fox. So they at least they have one more season coming out and then it's done. But
exactly,
it's a good proper finish. So
yeah. But folks, that's what we're talking about today. Uncancelled TV. When we come back, it is all about you guys. So chime in on our Facebook page. Join us on Stereo. When we come back, we'll be talking to you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Behold my process. Ooh, yeah, let me tell you something right here. It's the Loot Crate subscription box, full of exclusive loot, fun surprises delivered to your door every month.
Just pick up your favorite geeky genre, Daddy.
From the original Loot Crate, the Loot Crate DX collectible boxes, dude. Cowabunga!
Through the Loot Gaming video game box.
Woohoo! Yee-hoo!
What's with kids today, huh?
Wowzers! With crits starting as low as $11.99 per month, there's a box just about for all collectors. To get your geek on, head over to phoenixmedia.us/Loot Crate and claim your exclusive offer. That's FENIX media.us/Loot Crate. Great Scott!
Snap into a loot crate, dig it?
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. We are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show, and we are smack dab in the middle of the interactive portion of the show where we want to hear from you guys, the listeners and watchers, on our topic of the day. Now, if you want to chime in, head over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. Click into the live video there and comment, or in just a little bit, we'll be opening the stereo app at stereo.com/Fenix Media. And playing a little stereo roulette. But if you join us on there, you can jump in line to chat with us live. Today, we are talking about uncanceled TV shows. If you had the ability to bring back one show from any period of TV history, what would it be? Tony mentioned Behind the Music. Mine was Santa Clarita Diet on Netflix. And before we get to people chiming in, it also made me or reminded me of the show Jericho on CBS. Do you remember that show, Tone?
Jericho. Yeah, with Skeet Ulrich.
Exactly. Yeah. So at the end of season 2, CBS abruptly canceled it. Fans were so upset that they sent CBS 20 tons of peanuts and they brought it back for a final season. So it just goes to show, if fans love a show enough, there's the possibility of bringing it back. We're going to see
Family Guy was a huge one back in the day. That got canceled, came back. Futurama, same thing, got canceled, came back. So a lot of shows have done that. Did not American Dad?
No.
American Dad never got canceled.
It never got canceled. It just got moved over to TBS.
Is that where it's at now?
Exactly.
I don't even know if it's still a thing. So
It is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we're talking about. Uncanceled TV shows. Now, Tony, did you get anybody to chime in on your end as far as what they would bring back?
Yeah, I've got Mike and Lacey and Bella, the youngers out of Nebraska. They chimed in, and Lacey has, she said, White Collar was really good.
Oh, that was a great show.
So White Collar would have been one. For Mike, Reaper. Reaper was so damn good. Wish it would have been on a better network. It would do really good on a modern day streaming service.
Yeah, it was on the CW when CW first came over from WB, starred Tyler Labine, and what a great show about basically the son of the devil. And it was a funny comedy. I'd love to see that one come back.
That would be awesome. Out of Practice. You ever hear of that one?
Was that the spinoff of Grey's Anatomy or?
No, that was Private Practice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was with the redhead Kate Walsh.
That's right.
Bella's pick is Mutton Stuff. It was a Nickelodeon show with real dogs. Mutton Stuff.
All right. I like it. What about Paw Patrol? Didn't they cancel that because of the whole?
No, they survived the cancel culture.
They did. Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
they survived it. And then Jamie Anna's was Parks and Rec. Would love to bring back Parks and Rec.
Now, they did in a way. So when the whole pandemic lockdown happened, they had sort of a reunion show where all of the characters reprised their roles through sort of Zoom meetings, sort of as you guys are watching us right now. But they did a small revival, raised a little bit of money, but I loved Parks and Rec. So good.
Fantastic show.
What I thought was weird was that the final season didn't jump ahead like 5 years into the future, and it was a little jarring when you started watching that final season.
Yeah, it was a little different for sure. Like it was a little futuristic, things like that.
Yeah,
and Chris Pratt was barely in it because he's too busy making movies. Yeah,
he was all buff. He wasn't the pudgy Chris Pratt that we got at the beginning of the series.
Yeah, and Lacey chimed in and she said that show that she was talking about,
Out of Practice.
It had Henry Winkler and the guy who plays Phil Dunphy. I don't know who Phil Dunphy is.
Phil Dunphy from Modern Family. He was the dad. Yeah,
I've never heard of that show.
Oh. So in any case, that's what we're talking about. Uncanceled TV shows. What would you bring back if you could? Again, there is still time to chime in on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. But with that being said, Tony, we're going to roll into your favorite part right now with the Stereo app. So folks, feel free to join on stereo.com/Fenix Media. And let's go ahead and get on into it. Ooh. Apparently, there are all sorts of rules we have to follow now.
Ooh, what do we have to do now?
Bazinga!
All right, we're finding a chat partner. How's it going?
Hello,
You're on the Kristian Fenix Radio Show.
Oh, wow.
You're on.
So we are talking.
Oh, hello.
We're talking uncanceled TV shows. If you had the ability to bring back one TV show from any period of time, obviously where TV existed, what would that one show be?
The Next Step, season 1. Yes. Oh, yes.
Now, I'm not familiar with The Next Step. Is that a reality show? Is it a dance show?
It's a dance show, and it's great, and it shows in the UK, but the series just really went downhill. And unfortunately, it's just got to bring back the first series.
The first season was legendary. The rest,
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, she's I really missed the first season.
Oh, very cool. It's, again, not something I'm familiar with, but maybe worth checking out. Maybe some of our listeners will check it out too. We appreciate you chiming in. We're going to keep moving on, but drop us a follow and hopefully we'll have you again at some point in the future.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
You got it.
I think they were they on yesterday? I think
No.
they were. That's a different one, huh?
Yep. How's it going? Well, nope.
Well, that was getting a little cheeky, huh?
They just moved on. All right. Looks like it's connecting. Come on.
Excellent.
Oh, some people just don't have great internet service. That's the way it goes sometimes. How's it going? You're on the Kristian Fenix Radio Show today.
I'm Batman.
Hello.
Execute Order 66.
How are you doing today? You're on the Kristian. No, boy, it's going to be one of those days. You're on the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. How are you doing today? Helps if
are you going to watch Law and Order tonight, friend?
we moved on. If you're not paying attention, then why bother?
Oh, it's the Kristian Fenix Show.
It is searching. Again, we are talking uncanceled TV shows, things that we would like to see come back. Here we go. How's it going?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What's going on? Good, man. How's it been for you?
Good. So we're talking uncanceled TV shows that you would love to see come back. What would be your one pick if you could bring back any show?
Oh man, I'd like them to do a remake of The Jeffersons, man. That show was one of my favorite shows as a little kid. The Jeffersons was great.
Moving on up.
Moving on up. Maybe it was the song for me. Maybe it was just a song for me.
Yeah, the theme songs have a way of sticking with you, but that's one that could use a reboot, especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they can make it so PC.
Exactly. We were talking about how Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is coming back, but not as a comedy. It's coming back as a gritty drama. Jeffersons, though, I'd still like to see as a comedy.
Yeah, comedy would have to stay comedy. Three's Company would be a good one to bring back as well.
I don't know. I was going to say I don't know if that one could stay PC.
Yeah, come and knock on our door. Yeah, I don't know either. They might have to put that on a cable network.
Exactly.
And on full time at 12 a.m. like when I was 14.
Well, we appreciate you chiming in. We're going to keep moving on. Drop us a follow, and hopefully man. We'll see you on a future show.
Yeah, let me hit it.
Right.
I got you. All right. Have a good day. Have a good day.
You too.
You too, bud.
All right. Love when we get good interaction.
Three's Company would be a good one.
It was. All right. How you doing? You're on the Kristian Fenix radio show.
Wow. I like it.
Awesome. Well, we're here in the U.S. Where are you located?
What are you talking about, bro?
So the topic
we're talking about?
The topic we're talking about today is uncanceled TV shows. If you had the ability to bring back one show, what would it be?
Wow.
Take a shot every time he says, wow, you're officially drunk. What he was trying to say was Webster. He really liked Webster and thought Webster should come back.
There you go. All right. I think we have time for one more. Let's go ahead and connect.
Please don't wow it.
Right. I don't think he could even come up with anything. Oh,
wow.
All right. How's it going? You're on the Kristian Fenix radio show.
Bazinga.
Nope. Don't be shy, little one.
All right. And we'll make this the last one, hopefully.
Come on, big money.
No whammies. Stop. How's it going? You're on the Kristian Fenix radio show today. Comes down to people.
Yeah, baby.
Your internet connections. And if you're going to be part of the stereo app, chime in.
Yeah, definitely. No, like that one guy was good. And then the British girls. We had the Aussie girls yesterday and then the British girls today. So good interaction for a few of them, but not all.
Yeah. And that's what we get with the stereo app. Sometimes it's quality, sometimes it's a little bit of garbage, but here we had a nice little mix of both.
And like the garbage, yes, no?
That does it for the interactive portion of the show. When we come back, we've got a segment called Stupid Self-Injuries. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke. When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F. Face drooping. A. Arm weakness. S. Speech difficulty. T. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm going to do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. We have a little thing we talk about a couple times each show. It is the Fenix Line, our 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever, including our call-in topics of the day, which we just finished up with Uncancelled TV. Now, if you want to do so, give us a call at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX RDO or 855-336-4973 for the alphanumerically impaired. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, the call-in topic for tomorrow is, well, based on today, April Fool's pranks. What is the best April Fool's prank you've either pulled on somebody or had pulled on you? Maybe it happened today. Well, we want to know about it. Give us a call, drop us a line. That's what we're going to be covering tomorrow. Now, in this segment that I've titled Stupid Self-Injuries, this stems from yesterday's topic about funny 911 calls where somebody got stuck in their Under Armour shirt, dislocated a shoulder, and needed an ambulance called because they couldn't drive themselves to the hospital. I mentioned in that segment that I've actually thrown out my back sneezing before, and it's painful, it's not fun, and it is a stupid reason to hurt yourself. Tony, any stupid self-injuries come to mind for you?
Just dumb ones, like when you stub your toe or something, like you walk into a cabinet or bop your head on something dumb. Just those random, like, what the hell? Why would I do that? But nothing like I haven't sneezed and threw my back out or anything like that. It's just been dumb things.
All right.
The stub of your toe or something like that.
Well, we'll go through this list of stupid self-injuries, and maybe something will come to mind that you've conveniently forgotten about. Ooh. But let's go ahead and get into it. Stupid self-injuries that maybe you had to go see a
doctor.
Doctor.
Doctor. Doctor. Doctor. Doctor. Doctor. Doctor. Doctor. Doctor. Doctor. Doctor. Doctor.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Doctor.
And doctor.
It's a lot of doctors.
It's a lot of doctors, but
It's like the wow guy.
Exactly.
Wow.
Or, it's just somebody on an HMO and they have to see a bunch of specialists. Anyway, let's start with Twitter user Mina Kime says, I popped my jaw last week by brushing my teeth too vigorously. It still hurts. Oh, that, how vigorous do you have to brush your teeth in order to pop your jaw?
That's pretty hard. I mean, the dumbest thing I've done brushing my teeth is like sometimes brushing too hard and it slips. And then you jab like your upper gum or something. And then, of course, then you bust it open. You have that damn cut in there. So I've had that happen a couple times. That sucks.
Along those lines, what I hate more than anything in the world is tortilla chips or Doritos, where they turn up on their side and then you bite down and it jams up into the roof of your mouth.
Or like when you're, that's not fun. Or when you're chewing gum or something and you bite the inner part of your gum, and then the rest of the day, when you eat something, you tend to bite the same thing again, and you're just like, really?
Well, when my face was half paralyzed for over a year, I constantly bit the inside of the paralyzed side of my lip, and it hurt like hell.
Oh, you're like, son of a bitch.
Well, let's move on, talking stupid self-injuries.
Doctor?
Doctor?
This from Name Shiv on Twitter says, I re-broke my toe by accidentally kicking a bedpost while demonstrating to someone how I accidentally kicked the goalpost and broke my toe. So demonstrating how they did it, re-broke it. In the kids' bedroom, they've got a bed where the post comes down at an angle. Without fail, I stub my toe on it every single time I go in there.
You're just like, why? You know it's there, but you still do it.
Exactly. Rolling on, talking stupid self-injuries.
Doctor?
Doctor?
Twitter user Mike Hensler 15 says, fell asleep on my arm, woke up in the dark and couldn't feel it at all. I was trying hard to move it, and just as I was about to give up, my hand fell from the sky and whacked me in the face. You don't know fear until you think you are being attacked with only one arm to defend yourself. Not sure if I fully follow that, but I've certainly fallen asleep on an arm and it's gone numb, and it's terrifying, trying to think, is it coming back or not?
Right. And just that weird tingly feel. It's strange.
It is. Yeah. And actually, we were talking about Megadeth behind the music in one of the previous segments, and Dave Mustaine, he fell asleep with his arm behind a chair, ended up having to have major surgery because it killed nerves and almost destroyed his hand.
Yeah, there was a while where Megadeth broke up because he couldn't play the guitar anymore.
Exactly. And that's what we're talking about here. Stupid self-injuries. Twitter user Amanda Weinstein says, my puppy gave me a black eye the day after my 30th birthday. The moment I bent over to grab a phone charger near our bed was the exact moment that she decided to launch herself full force onto the same bed. Note, no puppies were harmed in this incident, and she is a very good girl. I've been hurt by my dogs on many times. We have Goliath, who is always underfoot, and if you're not careful, he will tabletop you.
Yeah. Yeah, be careful when they come running at you.
Oh, yeah. But, we love them. They're dogs, and, we forgive them for injuring us from time to time.
Right.
Let's keep rolling on, talking stupid self-injuries.
Doctor?
Twitter user Chris M says, I have a scar on my thigh from a middle school food fight because I was on the eastern shore of Maryland. Someone had hucked a crab and it stuck into my leg like a throwing star. I would have paid to have seen that.
Holy crap. That's nuts.
Well, it goes to show how tough those crab shells are. I mean, if you've ever tried ordering it at a restaurant and using those, crab tongs, whatever they are, those things are tough. Apparently, deadly.
It could be, you're not lying, buddy. Whew.
Let's keep rolling on. Stupid self-injuries.
Doctor?
Twitter user The Ken Child says, I woke up one morning, stretched and curled my toes, and heard a pop. I broke my big toe by waking up.
Oh, man.
And I don't know if you've ever done this. Similarly, I have gotten up in the morning stretch and gave myself a Charlie horse where that calf muscle just shoots back up and it's searing pain.
Yeah. I've done something similar. I was doing a meeting right before I left for the trip to Nevada, and I was talking to two of my guys, and I kind of did like this little foot stretch with my left foot, but then it cramped, but it was like in the middle of a cramp and Charlie horse at the same time.
Oh.
And I out loud, I was like, wow. And then I was like, ow, ow, ow. And I like had to stop what I was doing and walk away. And they're like, are you okay? I'm like, I think I'll be okay. But it wouldn't stop. And it was like a good minute of just, it felt like somebody was squishing my foot. And it just was just I got caught in the Charlie horse thing, man.
Yep.
And those hurt.
Along those lines, I've gotten a Charlie horse in my jaw right underneath here. And it was from yawning. I yawned too wide. Apparently I was dehydrated and my jaw just shot closed and searing pain. So much pain.
Oof. I don't know what that one's like, but I would not want that, brother.
No. Since then, I drink a lot of water.
Yeah,
All
you got to. Whew.
Moving on. Stupid self-injuries.
Doctor?
Twitter user Betsy Levine says, I swallowed a soda can tab. ER doctor gave the RN $1, asked for a soda from the vending machine. He tore off the tab, taped it to the hospital gown, and said, tell X-ray they looking for this shape. How do you swallow a soda can tab?
You got to be screwing around with it. You know, like I just don't see it happening unless you're a little kid. Little kids tend to pick up little things and eat them. But
they'll stick anything in their mouth, but not a grown adult.
Yeah, no. As a grown adult, you should not be putting those types of things in your mouth.
No.
Yeah, because if you're doing one of those things, like if it pops off, like if you pop the tab and it falls in the soda can, well, then you just know, like, if you're going to keep drinking out of that can, to be cautious.
Exactly. Just be careful.
Yeah,
Let's keep rolling on. We have time for a couple more. We're talking stupid self-injuries.
Doctor?
Twitter user WDBP. Wow. As a young electrician working in an attic with no headroom, stripped the end of a wire and the end flew into my eye. Reflexes to jerk head away, right into the roofing nail that poked through the plywood. Reflex to that was to pull away, slam chin on a rafter, and then back to the nails, and so on. We were just playing a little clip of Chevy Chase, and it reminds me of the scene from Christmas Vacation when he's up in the attic and steps on the board, hits his head, walks into the...
Yeah.
It's sort of a Rube Goldberg machine of pain.
Right. Ouch.
And then finally, in stupid self-injuries.
Doctor?
This one from Twitter user JD Moore says, sliced my finger with a steak knife in college. Was I trying to open a bag of lettuce? Yes. Could I have used scissors or literally anything else to open that salad bag? I don't have the answer to that. The answer is yes, you could. And this goes back to Jesse. Jesse, if you are listening, steak knives are not the way to open Amazon packages. So,
well, especially it scares you, doesn't it? Scare? Does she cut towards herself? Because we teach our guys to cut away, but sometimes they're like cutting towards them. Like, no, that way.
Always cut away. And
always away.
Respect the blade. Well, folks, that does it for this segment. When we come back, we're heading into the final segment of the show. It is time for This Day in History. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care.
Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we made it back, folks, to the final segment of this episode of the Kristian Fenix radio show, but not before we bring you This Day in History. But if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix radio show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Doozer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god?
A very quiet supercut of no's today.
Yeah, no.
And of course, they doomed us all. Well, folks, while you're there, be sure to subscribe.
That way, you always was Lightning McQueen.
Was it?
Yeah.
Be sure to subscribe. That way, you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think, and tell your friends. Because why, Tony?
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring, which is why we bring you this segment each and every day. Drop a little knowledge on you, hopefully make you laugh at the same time. It is time for This Day in History.
Crossing the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's This Day in History with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
All right, kicking off This Day in History, this day in 1693, Cotton Mather's 4-day-old son dies, and witchcraft is to blame. Satan. And I think that's actually what kicked off the start of the Salem witch trials, if I'm not mistaken.
Yikes.
Yeah, no bueno. And
no bueno, my friend.
Back in those days, if you were unhappy with your significant other, with your wife, you could just accuse them of witchcraft and all of your worries would be taken care of. Luckily, we have progressed so far beyond that, hopefully.
Right. Just you hope just a little bit at least.
Exactly. Moving on, this day in 1748, the ruins of Pompeii are rediscovered by Spaniard rock Joaquin de Alcubierre. Of course, Pompeii was the Italian town that was covered in ash by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius.
Well, One time I hiked Mount Vesuvius. That was a terrible Hansel.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It was a good try. Good attempt.
Yeah.
Let's move on. This day in 1854, Hard Times begins serialization in Charles Dickens' magazine, Household Words. Tony, what is your, aside from Hard Times, your favorite Charles Dickens book?
I don't know. I was going to make a lot of dick jokes out of that one. Chuck Dickens is Hard Times. Hard Times with Chuck Dickens.
So deep of it. My favorite.
I don't know what else he writes. I was going to say Moby Dick, but that was written by somebody else.
I was going to say Scrooged.
There you go.
We did a Christmas Carol. All right, let's move on. 1891, French painter Paul Gauguin leaves Marseille for Tahiti. He was, what's the type of painting? Not surrealism, but basically the same thing that Picasso was, and not my favorite type of art.
No. My name's French painter Paul Gauguin, and I'm leaving Marseille for Tahiti. I'm out of here. April Fools, I'm staying. I'm good.
These next two are specifically for Superfan Friday, Lacey. This day in 1934, Clyde Barrow kills two young highway patrolmen, H.D. Murphy and Edward Bryant Wheeler, at the intersection of Route 114 near Grapevine, Texas. Bonnie Parker's role in the murders helped turn public perception against the gang for good.
Fatality. Bonnie and Clyde.
Yep. And then this next one, this day in 1936, Charles Lucky Luciano is arrested in Arkansas on a criminal warrant from New York. Infamous New York City gangster.
Now, Charles Lucky Luciano, you are not that lucky. You're back to New York.
Let's keep rolling on. This day in 1938. I've got the, there it is.
There it is.
World heavyweight boxing champion Joe Louis knocks out Harry Thomas in the 5th round of their title bout in Chicago, the 3rd defense by Louis. He was, again, a gargantuan of his time and held quite a few heavyweight belts and records.
Down goes Thomas for a knockout in the 5th. He is down. Joe Louis, still your champion.
Let's move on. Tony, get that accent or that impression ready. This day in 1964, John Lennon is reunited with his father, Freddie, after 17 years.
Freddie, my dad, what's with kids today, huh?
I had a feeling
no respect. Dad, I talked to 2 girls today, and they had a show about dog. I forgot what it was called. What was that show that they wanted?
I don't know.
The British accent. It was Brad. I don't know why I talk like that for the Beatles. It's a little slow. It's not quite British. It's just a little slow.
It's close. It's close.
What's with kids today? It almost sounds like Jerry Seinfeld there. What's with kids today, huh? No respect.
Let's keep rolling on. This day in 1970, U.S. President Richard Nixon signs a bill limiting cigarette advertisements from the 1st of January, 1971. And they continue to decline where you can't advertise cigarettes anywhere anymore.
Nope. No more Joe Camel. Remember Joe Camel was everywhere.
I do, yeah.
NASCAR used to have Winston and there used to be the Marlboro Man, all that stuff.
Yeah. And on Madison Avenue, they even had a giant billboard poster of somebody smoking and blowing out smoke rings.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore.
No, you don't see that.
No.
Remember old cigarette vending machines in Nevada?
I do, with the
blowing out and stuff. Yeah. Good times.
Let's keep moving on. This day in 1976, Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs found Apple Computer in the garage of Jobs' parents' house in Cupertino, California. Without those guys, we wouldn't have many of the innovations in computers we have today.
Hey, Steve, can I come to your house? I got this idea. That'd be a bitchin' logo. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up with some stuff. Sorry, I got some apple in my mouth. We're going to have some good electronics, and we're going to market them, okay?
Is that your Wozniak impression?
I'm Wozniak. I'm eating an apple. Taking a while.
Let's keep moving on. This day in 1976, Helter Skelter, detailing Charles Manson's cult family, their capture, trial, conviction, and aftermath, premieres on CBS. That guy was a Looney Tune.
Yeah, he was. Helter Skelter. Helter Skelter.
Let's keep rolling on. This day in 1978. We were talking uncanceled TV shows. This might be a good one. The Bob Newhart Show last airs on NBC TV. What a funny show, well ahead of its time.
Definitely.
That's
all I got for you. Yeah, that's all I got.
Definitely. All right,
Definitely.
Tony. Let's see if you remember this one. This day in 1990, WrestleMania 6 in the Sky Dome of Toronto. Who beat Hulk Hogan for the WWF Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championship titles?
The Ultimate Warrior. From the skies and the powers of riding my horse, the warriors went riding in the sky. I wasn't big on those dudes. I wasn't big on Ultimate Warrior. I wasn't big on Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
But I do remember that was a real big WrestleMania match for the time.
Exactly.
Their promos were intense. I asked my friend yesterday if she ever watched wrestling. She goes, no, never ever watched a single one. She goes, it's just a bunch of weirdos screaming, which they were always super jacked to like pump up, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was more drama than it was actual sport, but
it made no sense. That's why I like Macho Man Randy Savage. He was just so weird, and he talked about nothing.
Well, let's move on to our final This Day in History. This day in 2007, American super swimmer Michael Phelps smashes his own world record in the 400-meter individual medley to win his record 7th gold medal at the World Championships in Melbourne, Australia. And another guy who was demonized for marijuana.
Yeah, that was he was. But I was going to ask at the end. He broke his record and then he ripped that bong, man.
Exactly. Well, folks, we have lots of holidays to run down today, so let's go ahead and go through those. Where we talk about and celebrate. For instance, today is, well, as we know, April Fool's Day. It is Assyrian New Year. It is Boomer Bonus Day.
You get a bonus, Boomer.
It is Fossil Fool's Day, not fossil fuels, fossil fools. It is International Tatting Day. I don't know if that means
go get a tat.
Apparently,
do.
It is Lupus Alert Day, so be on the alert. It is International Edible Book Festival. Okay,
eat a book.
It is International Fun at Work Day.
Always try to have fun.
It is
when you're at
National Burrito Day.
Ooh, if I wasn't in so much stomach pain, that sounds delightful.
Right. It is National Atheists Day. It is National Jump in Muddy Puddles Day. Boy, Maundy Thursday. National Sourdough Bread Day. National Trombone. Boy, words are hard. Trombone. 1 Cent Day. Love for Our Children Day. Sorry Charlie Day. Sing Stupid Day. Reading is Fun Day. Poetry of the Creative Mind Day. And U.S. Air Force Academy Day. Folks, that does it for today. Join us.
It's Tony Savage Day as well. Yeah, it is.
See you guys tomorrow.
Peace.